Going on, so a man like James Chunky Degale, right? He's going to be fighting Badou Jack in a unification fight. And let me show you one thing, right? The UK has really got it going on. Look how many followers James Chunky Degale has got right now on Twitter, right? And if we take a look at Badou Jack, let me turn this one down a bit, right? If we take a look at Badou Jack, right? Badou Jack's only got 15.7k, okay? And this is the thing, right? You're looking at James Degale. He's dedicated to the sport. Okay, he's definitely got it going on. Um, he's had a few performances where he's been up and down. When he fought for his world title, I felt like he cleaned the early rounds and he coasted. But for me, James Degale, he's a fighter who's learning. He's getting better and better. And for me, a man like Chunky is just a wicked fighter. And I'm a huge supporter of him, okay? This is what British fighters need to do. They need to go over to America and dominate. If you're not going over to the stateside and dominating, then I don't know what you're doing. This is the thing. You've got to dominate in America. And that's exactly what James Degale has been doing. Dominating stateside, fighting Badou Jack. Say what you want, right? But at the end of the day, right, James Chunky Degale is dedicated to the sport of boxing. He's got Matchroom behind him, okay? He's representing the UK. He's got a decorated amateur record. His only loss is to George Groves, who himself, you know, is a very good fighter. And I think James Degale has really grown since then. I think he beats George Groves now very convincingly. If you just look at James Degale, okay, he ain't no bodybuilder. He isn't just someone who's all hype and, you know, all talk. This guy is the goods. He's got lateral movement. He moves his head. He's not your typical British boxer who just goes there with his hands up and fights in straight lines. I hate them fighters. To me, I find them fighters the most annoying fighters in boxing. People who just come forward with their hands up. I don't understand what they're doing, and I don't know how they even get like decent fights. But yeah, this is what I like to see. Lateral movement, footwork, head movement, combination punching, conditioned, and you know James Chunky Degale puts it in. However, on the other side, right? Yeah, James Degale is bad boy. Yeah, James Degale, right, knows how to put it on. And at the end of the day, right, look, he banged out Andre Dirrell. He banged out Andre Dirrell. James Chunky Degale, okay? But when we take a look at Badou Jack, right, this guy's no joke, okay? Obviously, I'm going to be backing James Chunky Degale, but Badou Jack can fight, okay? He comes from a very good school. I believe, was it Badou Jack who was training with Eddie Mustafa Muhammad? And Eddie Mustafa Muhammad did an interview and said that he left him in a manner which was that of, let's just say that he said he wasn't a man for leaving in the manner that he did. And you know, it's interesting that he said that. He didn't even call me, he texted me, he didn't have a heart, you know, to tell me that he's split up. And I'm pretty sure it was Badou Jack he was talking about. I'm not sure. But look, right, with Badou Jack, he's a good fighter. And I mean, if you look at his record, right, he's had one loss, okay, which came against Derek Edwards, but he's also, you know, had a draw against Lucien Boutte, and we can't just ignore this draw against Lucien Boutte because Lucien Boutte is a good fighter, but I mean, you know, at the age he's at, personally, I think that Badou Jack should have done him, and I watched that fight really late. I was half asleep. I wasn't at home when I watched it. But from what I remember, I gave it to Badou Jack, I think. But they gave it a draw. Wasn't that fight like a bit of a robbery? I can't really remember. But at the end of the day, right, Badou Jack and Lucien Boutte shouldn't have even been that competitive. If Badou Jack was a real good fighter, he should have done a job on Lucien Boutte at this age. And Lucien Boutte is a clinical veteran in the ring. But this is the thing, right? Badou Jack is not coming up against a typical British fighter, which he can just you know, walk through and dominate and, you know, be classy against. Because a lot of the time, that's what happens. These American fighters, right? They face. Look at this, man. They were building this fight for a while. I mean, a lot of these American fighters, they come, right, and they face our British boxers and they dominate them. Easy work. And that's because our fighters, right, most of them are rubbish. I'll tell you straight on. Look, this is it, man. This is the truth. Most of the British fighters are rubbish. They come in straight, hands up. They come in straight lines. And I've been in the gym with these guys, and I've seen how they fight, and it's annoying. They fight in straight lines. They keep their head up, and against other British fighters, they do all right. They get into wars, and it's interesting to watch. But when they step up, right, you start to see that they. George Groves isn't one of them, by the way. George Groves is a good fighter, different style. You start to see that they have a lack of head movement. They struggle, and when they come against that American style, they get dominated. They get seriously dominated. But you know, the thing is, with a man like Chunky isn't like that. Okay, this guy's got the amateur pedigree. He's got the UK swagger about him. He's got the UK backing. He's got the UK conditioning, the European conditioning. But he's not your typical, you know, stand straight fighter. Come in. This guy comes in looping punches left, right, and center. He's got head movement. He could improve. Don't get me wrong. James Degale could improve. But I like what I see from James Degale. He's a legit world champion, is James Degale. I'm a big supporter of him. And the UK is really doing it right now in boxing. So for me, James Degale versus Badou Jack is going to be a good fight. But I gotta say, man, I'm backing James Degale. As long as he takes it seriously, I think Chunk is one of the main guys in the sport, and I love what he's doing over there. He's being managed by Al Heyman now, I believe. I'm not sure if he's got any link with Matchroom anymore at all, but he's with Al Heyman, and I really like James Degale, and I think he's going to do the job on. He did the job on Andre Durrell, and I predicted that. And I think he's going to do a job on Badou Jack as well. I don't think Badou Jack's that brilliant. Got Eddie Mustafa Muhammad in his corner, no more. I think, if I'm right, I believe that's the case. But Badou Jack is legit. But I just think James Degale is going to show up on the night, and he's going to go and grab it. As long as he doesn't do anything where he coasts or anything like that, and he goes to grab this fight with both hands, I'm favouring James Degale in this fight. Leave your comment section below. James Chunky Degale versus Badou Jack. Comment section below. Subscribe as always. In a bit, guys.